So there's definitely been some changes in the San Diego real estate market, especially compared to the past few years. We're going to dive in and show you those changes and actually what they mean so that if you are thinking about buying or you're thinking about selling, you're going to have some good intel on what to expect in the San Diego real estate market. As always, it's a little bit different from neighborhood to neighborhood and your specific situation, but this will be a nice broad overview of San Diego County as a whole, dive into numbers and tell you what they actually mean. As always, I'm Chris Erickson. If you guys are thinking about making the move, we got a real estate crew right here in San Diego, but we also have our free buyer's guide. So if you want to get that downloaded, everything you need to know about buying a home right here in San Diego. But let's jump into it. Now we're looking at the Redfin data center. You guys could look up this as well. It's updated every week. They do like a 4-week rolling average. So you get pretty darn current stats on what's happening in the San Diego real estate market, but we're going to go through all these up here and let you know what they mean. First off, new listings compared to where we were last year, we're still up 11%. We saw a little dip. This was probably from the Easter holiday, new listings coming on the market. But we see that maybe even come into the data in these next few weeks as well. But likely will continue back up as we start moving forward. Now, last week we were about 22% above, so a little bit less than half of that, but still tracking above as far as new listings come in the market where we were compared to last year. Pending sales, how many buyers are out there? How many homes are actually going under contract? You can see we track right along with 23, 24. Right up here, this top line is 2022, where we saw a lot more demand. Obviously, you can see down here, we're still about 4% below where we were last year. So a little less demand out there, which we've definitely been seeing in the market as we have a few listings out there. As we're working with buyers, there's a little bit less competition out there. So a little opportunity for buyers, but sellers, if your home is priced right, it's prepped, all that kind of stuff, it's still, you'll see that in a few, how fast homes are selling here in San Diego. Definitely slower than before, but off market in 2 weeks, nearly 52%. So over half the homes are still going off the market within 2 weeks. Now, yeah, a little bit less, about 2% less than last year, and a bit less than we did see in 2022 when everything, it seemed like everything in 2021 and 2022 was going off the market within those first 2 weeks. So above almost 75% at the peak there. Right now, we're still sitting about 52%. So homes are still selling at a relatively quick clip, but that number and that the pace of which homes are selling, just for home sellers out there, be aware that it's likely going to take a little bit longer to sell your home. All right, so the progression, you have new listings, then you have pending sales, and then you have homes sold. How many homes actually are selling? Once again, kind of an indicator of the demand side of things. Where do we stand? Yeah, less than 2022, but kind of right in track where we were these last few years. So not a ton of difference as far as that front goes right now. Now, new listing median price in San Diego County. We did see a little bit of a drop coming these last few weeks to about 963,500. This is including houses, condos, townhomes, all those things are inclusive in here. And this is just the new listing price. It's not the closed price. We'll show you the sales price, but this is a good indicator because as we go through this, we'll show you what homes are selling for relatively to what they are listed for. Are they selling right at list, a bit more, or a bit less? So as we're looking at this, it's a good forward indicator of where homes might end up in the next few months, where they might start closing. If we see this number start tracking down, then likely, okay, new home prices on new listings are going down. We're likely going to see a drop in the median sales price as well. But the actual median sales price right here is about 0% of where we were last year. So this is like looking backwards a little bit because when homes do go under contract, they're usually under contract for 30, 45, 60 days, whatever the case may be. So these homes that did sell like during this time, during 3/24 to 4/20, they were likely under contract in February or early March sometime. So we are right on par with where we were last year. Will we drop under that? We shall see. It looks like we are starting to track in that direction. Now we're looking at active listings. This is including the new listings that did come on the market plus homes that are already on the market. So if this is climbing, it means we're adding to inventory. We're adding to the number of homes. Homes aren't, more homes are coming on than are actually selling. So we are tracking up. We're about just over 25% above where we were last year. This is where we start getting into supply and demand. If this starts going way high and demand drops, we're going to see longer market times. We're going to see more inventory buildup. It's going to give more options to buyers out there, and sellers are just going to have to keep in mind and price accordingly to where the current market is right now. Now, the median days on market is actually kind of flattening out right here. So, median days on market is sitting right about 19 days on market, 4.5 days above where we were last year. But when we drop down to like some of the days in 2022, the median days on market was just about 8 days on market. So you see we're well above that, a little bit more breathing room out there for buyers. Now, there's still always a sense of time is of the essence. If you're looking at homes, you want to make decisions a little quicker, but you can also take a little breath, take a step back, kind of make your decisions. There's also more homes on the market, giving you more choices. So we were just out with some clients looking at a few different bunch of townhomes in a few different communities, and they had plenty of homes to look at, and most of them were on the market. Some were fairly new, some had been on about 2 weeks, some had been on a little over a month. So a big spread of homes on the market. Now, this one we'll keep an eye on as well. You can see it's well off trend from these last few years when we were around 2 to 4%. This is percent of active listings with price drops, going about 6.8%. Now, this is active listings on the market right now, so it's not counting pendings, just current homes. So if they did have a price drop, you'll see it in different data. And we're looking at other data as well. And these ones can be much higher when you look at closings and pendings as far as the number of homes that have had a price drop. But either way, the trend is the same. We're tracking up. Now, this 2022 spike, when we did see a big percentage of active listings with price drops, this is when we saw interest rates jump in 2022. So obviously something different right now. Interest rates are still around a little, they've been hovering around 7% or so, but there's other things in play causing, a little less demand out there, a little bit more homes coming on, which I think is causing to these price drops. Next up, weeks of supply in San Diego County. This is taking into account how fast homes are selling. If no more homes came on the market, how long would it take to, sell exactly what's on the market right now? If there's 100 homes, how long does it take to sell those 100 homes? Is it going to take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months? Obviously, this is recycling, but as there's more inventory, as homes sit a little bit longer, the week supply of inventory compared to what the sales were last month is going to continue to rise. So we're about 2.3 weeks above where we were last year. So still only about 10 and a half weeks supply. So about 2.5 months or so. Now, once we see this number go to, right now it's about 2.5 weeks supply. Once we see this go up to about 4 months, maybe even 5 months, that's when we start getting into a lot more of a buyer's market. So as this tracks up, you're going to see it more skewed towards buyers, potentially more price drops. And that's why during this time, as a seller, pricing your home appropriately is going to be super, super important. All right, now where are homes selling compared to where they're listed at? Now, the average sale to list price. Now, I'm not sure if this is the original list price. Like if a home was listed at $1 million, let's say they had a price drop to 975, is it going off the average, what it actually sold for during that? Because our other numbers and other metrics are saying this is a little bit lower. Now it comes from neighborhood to neighborhood, but still looking about just shy of 100%. So there is still enough demand to get right around listing price. We're seeing more price drops, but we're not seeing it go well over like we did see back here when homes were averaging about 106% of their list price. Multiple people offering on properties, multiple bids, bidding up the home. You're getting a lot of final, best and final. What's your highest price? 5, 10, 15, 20 offers. That's not where we are anymore. So as we're going forward, we're going to keep track of all this for you. And if you guys did want to start that conversation about your specific situation, as always, you can reach out to us. We're the guys who answer the calls, text, and emails. All of our contact info is right below. Or you can also download our free buyer's guide. You just want to check that out and figure out that whole process as well. Feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.